Thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Flexibility training can be a slow and often painful process, but it does adhere to one simple rule. You either use it or lose it. If we challenge our body on a regular basis through a full range of motion, it will respond. A powerful habit that you can do to brush off the rust, to move and feel better, is some daily stretching. Here's 5 stretches that I use every single day. Let's start with the hips because it's going to help unlock the lower body. There's not just one stretch here. I'm going to give you a few different options. There's a reason that I use the 90-90 in pretty much every single follow along, and that's because it's so versatile, moving through both internal and external rotation. First, let's fold forward over that front leg. If we move the sternum over towards the knee, that's going to get the belly of the glute. If we shift the sternum towards the foot, that's going to be more into the piriformis. Place your elbow on the knee and try performing some contractions, lifting up, contracting the inner thigh. When you relax deeper, focus on feeling the pelvis rotating and the lower back flattening out. Twist out into the rear leg and move into some internal rotation. Focus here on trying to get that knee down to the ground and then twisting into that rear hip, leaning the torso towards the rear foot. Then actively move in and out of that externally rotated position, actively opening the hips using the glute. We can spend a couple of minutes split between these positions per side, moving in and out and trying to find the corners of your flexibility. Next, we have the couch stretch, and this is going to target the quad and the hip flexors. But that end position can be quite intense. Start low and wedge the knee into the wall with the shin vertical and toes pointed. Prop yourself up with your hands and allow gravity to pull your hip down towards the floor. The key to this one is hip position. We want to ensure that we're posteriorly tucking the hips. Think about squeezing the glutes, and we can perform a contraction of trying to pull that rear knee forward, contracting the hip flexor. We can relax deeper by moving more upright and vertical with the torso, working towards eventually getting that glute to touch the heel, but remember, don't sacrifice the hip position. Start with 60 to 90 seconds per side. Using contractions to work on getting more upright is an excellent starting point. Another great place to start is with today's sponsor, Squarespace. It's never been easier to create a beautiful website with their fluid engine. Customize every design with simple drag and drop features to make it look exactly the way you imagined. Create an online store, start selling your products, whether that's your own custom merch. You can get creative and grow your brand. It's how I started mine 6 years ago. You can go to squarespace.com to start your free trial, and when you're ready to go live, you can use this link to get 10% off your first website or domain. Thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Now the hips have had some grease, let's jump into a squat position. If you can't sit in a squat, then we need to work on this, but we can still perform these exercises by holding onto an anchor in front of us. Once we're in this position, spend some time kind of moving about from side to side, trying to feel where the restrictions lie. Create a greater stretch over the adductors by pushing one knee out. Use the hand to assist and really open those hips, performing something like 5 reps per side. Then let's bring in some spinal rotation, supporting with one arm, twist and reach the other arm towards the sky. Think about pulling the opposite shoulder down towards the ground. You're going to get a good stretch into the lower back and hips. Think about inhaling as you reach up, expanding the rib cage, and then exhaling as you control back down. Around 5 reps again per side. Let's go from compression to decompression of the spine and perform some hanging. It's pretty self-explanatory, but let's go into some details in regards to the stretching. First, think about pulling the sternum in and flattening the rib cage. This is going to move us to a straighter position and demand more shoulder flexion, putting a greater stretch over the lats. We can also try performing a supinated grip position, also increasing the stretch. Simply holding this one and letting gravity do its work is going to be amazing. Accumulating a couple of minutes here. If you're really struggling just to hold your body weight and it's not allowing you to focus on the stretch, then use the feet on the floor to assist and give you some help until you get stronger. If you want to turn it up a notch, then I'll link to a recent video in which we covered 2 great hanging exercises that are going to take that flexibility requirement to a different level. Lastly, let's look at everyone's favorite, the hamstrings. For this, I love the elephant walk. If you can't comfortably reach the floor in a forward fold position, we're going to use an elevation to place the hands on. We're going to fold forward with soft knees so you can get nice and deep. We're going to think about extending one leg straight and then trying to press the other knee as far forward as we can, bending it. This is not only going to pull you into a hamstring stretch, but it's going to add this tilting to the hips. Alternate back and forth, pausing on each rep, trying to connect it to the breath. We can add an extra twist that's going to go into the lower back here by sliding the hands round towards the bent side. Try performing 60 seconds or so and finishing that set by holding a normal pike hold, using the hands on the legs to pull yourself deeper into your pike position. These are the 5 stretches that I like to perform every single day. They could be done at one time. It's probably going to take you all of about 6 or 7 minutes, or just dotted throughout the day as a break from work. This is only my opinion. This is what I found that I've come back to. I would love to hear, what stretches do you find are essential for you on a daily basis? Let us know in the comment section down below. Other than that, you can hit a thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. The subscribe button is down there as well, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a strong week. Peace.